Hi, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys had a great holiday over the weekend. I couldn't put a nice little video on there because I'm having issues trying to edit these videos. So I had my niece do it, then she didn't have time to do it. So then she had a friend of hers do it. It's all the kids. They know how to do all these videos and everything. Us old folks really do not. So until I get good at this, I'm probably gonna have to hire this out to some kid to edit the videos. But anyway, today we're gonna be doing peanut butter and jelly wings. And I know it sounds kind of crazy and doesn't sound good, but I promise you it's that balance of sweet and savory, and I think you're really gonna like it a lot. So let's get started. Okay, well, we're getting started with some wings here. I have 6 wings here, whole wings. They've been washed with salt and dried, and then we're going to actually do a different kind of preparation on it in order to render the fat from the skin of the chicken. There's several ways that we can reduce the fat off the chicken. To get a really crispy skin on it, you could fry it, and that's my method of choice normally. But I know not everybody has the means to or wants to do it. It can be kind of messy, but you can do it in your oven. But the best way to get it done, and I've seen several different methods on actually getting the fat rendered from the skin of the chicken. You could steam it. You could steam the wings over some water for about 10 minutes and actually render a lot of that fat off of the skin. And that makes it perfect for putting it in the oven and getting a crispy skin on it. Or there is another way, which I saw this on America's Test Kitchen, which that's the method I'm going to use today to prepare it. And that is a combination of salt and baking powder. And that right there is going to do a chemical reaction and help remove some of that fat from the skin. So stick with me. I'm going to prepare it and show you all the steps to it, and we're going to get it done. Okay, I've got my wings in my favorite plastic bowl here. It has a resealable top on it that we can put on it. I use it for everything. And I'm going to put in some baking powder, about a teaspoon, and sprinkle it on the chicken. It's not going to impart any flavor to it at all. Maybe a hint of salt, maybe. And then we're going to put in a teaspoon of salt. Put the lid on, and we're going to shake it up. What we're going to do is we're going to put this in a 250-degree oven. And what that's going to do is help render that fat off the skin so that's nice and crispy. So it's going to be really good when we actually put our sauce back on it. All right, so we got that done. I have a cookie sheet here that's lined with some foil and a rack on it so that the fat can drop off. I use the foil for everything on anything I bake in the oven because I'm not a fan of scrubbing. Okay, so I'm going to put these wings on here. Some of them are a little big, so they're, you'll have to really watch that they get done. The 250-degree oven is just to actually render the fat, and then we're going to turn it up higher to actually brown it and actually cook it. Okay, and these are all the ingredients you're going to need. The recipe will be all down in the description below with all the amounts and everything that you'll need. You're going to need some tomato ketchup, 2 cloves of garlic that are pressed. You're going to need some soy sauce, sriracha, peanut butter, regular butter, and some jelly. You could use any kind of jelly you want. This happens to be orange marmalade. That's what I had. What I really like is jalapeno jelly. It is so good in it. And if you can get your hands on some, give it a shot, because if you like spicy, you're gonna love that. And then you're also gonna need some sesame oil. Okay, I've got the butter melting in here, and now I'm going to add my garlic that's been pressed. And I'm gonna mix it here and cook it just a little bit. We're not trying to brown it or anything. We're just trying to get it a little sizzle on it, and get the butter on it to cook some of the rawness out of it. All right, and then next we are going to add the peanut butter. You'll see how really simple this is. It's just pretty much dump, dump, dump. And just melting all the ingredients together. The only thing we're gonna leave out at the very end is the sesame oil, and that's going to be done off the heat. Simply because when you cook sesame oil, it loses its flavor over the longer you cook it. And we want the actual flavor of the sesame oil to be in it, because it just tastes so good and gives off such a nice aroma. Okay, here's that. Now I'm going to add the marmalade, the ketchup, the sriracha, and the soy sauce. The soy sauce is going to give us a little saltiness. And now we're just going to blend that together, and we're going to melt that the jelly, the marmalade that's in it. And like I said, you could use any kind of jelly you want. It'll work with anything. I would just caution, if you use jam, jam's going to have a lot more sugar content in it, and when you put it in the oven to actually get the wings with the sauce to caramelize on it, you might could burn it. Look how simple that is. It's a beautiful little sauce. Now what I recommend that you do is you taste it for salt, because you might need something. Depends on a lot of factors there. You might need a little salt, or actually put a little bit, just maybe another teaspoon more of the soy sauce in it. And now you can taste it. I have to say, it's really good with that marmalade. Really good with the marmalade. All right. And that's the end of that. That's all you have to do. Turn off the stove, and then we're going to, once the wings are done out of the oven, I'm going to show you how to assemble it. And we're going to use my handy dandy bowl. Again, you'll see it a lot. Okay, I am back. We've got our sauce is already completed. As you can see, doesn't that look good? Anyway, I did go ahead and I added the sesame oil off heat, and it's completely ready. Now we're just waiting on our wings. The wings have been in there about 20 minutes right now, with the baking soda and the salt, and I'm going to show you what it looks like in the oven. They don't really exactly brown a whole lot, but as you can see, the moisture is gone from the skin, and that's going to help it crisp up a little bit. So now I'm going to turn up the temperature from the 250 to 400, and that's going to cook our chicken. We're going to do that for about 40 minutes. I'm going to come back and check it. These are a little bit bigger than the ones that I've been getting recently. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to check the temperature on it and see if they're done, okay? And we will come right back. Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes, and now the wings are ready to come out of the oven. And then we're going to assemble and we're going to put them back in the oven to actually get the sauce to cling to the wings and get them a little bit thicker. So, okay, the wings are done, but you can actually see that there's not a whole lot of color on it. The baking soda, the baking powder actually inhibits a lot of the coloring on there, but as you can see, the skin is really nice and crisp, and a lot of the fat has just completely run off, and you can see it in the bottom of the pan. All right, what I'm gonna do now is get my little handy dandy bowl here, which I've washed, and I'm gonna put the wings into the bowl with the sauce. And then we're going to put it back into the oven to kind of caramelize the chicken with the sauce. Right. And I probably need to also preface also that when you put these chicken wings on your baking rack, you might want to spray it. I forgot. So, all right, there is that. And here's our sauce. Looks so good. And I kept tasting the sauce because it's got that orange marmalade in it. And I tell you what, you're gonna like it. It's really tasty with the orange marmalade. I could see this with some raspberry jam on it. Even a Concord grape jelly would be really good too. But try it with the jalapeno jelly. If you can get your hands on some, it's really good. Now, because we put that 2 tablespoons of sriracha in it, it has a little back heat. It's not gonna be bad. It's not so hot that you can't take it. It's a very gentle heat. And you could put some more chili flakes in there if you wanted to. And give it more heat if you'd like. But I promise you this is gonna be really good. All right. Let me put my handy dandy bowl back to use. This is just one of those cheap Rubbermaid bowls that they sell in the grocery store. It's supposed to be like you could take it somewhere and leave it and you won't have to cry that you left it somewhere. So anyway, so now let's shake these wings. Yeah, it makes a lot of sauce. You could probably make more wings if you wanted to for this, or you can put this in a bowl and put it on the side. This is gonna be so good. All right. Look at that. They smell garlicky. They're gonna be so delicious. Now, I'm gonna put them back in the oven and we're going to leave them in there for another 15 minutes and then we're gonna be ready to eat. Okay, there's a lot of sauce left in the bowl. I'm just gonna take a brush and brush it on the tops of the wings here before I stick them back in the oven, just to get them a little candied here. And here we go. And like I said, my oven is still at 400 degrees and it's only gonna take another 10-15 minutes to get them nicely caramelized here. Back into the oven they go. Okay, I got those wings out of the oven. They were only in there about 10 minutes, and that was in the 400-degree oven. You can see that it's all caramelized, it's sticky, it's gonna be so good. It's a little too hot to eat right now, and I will burn the daylights out of my mouth. But in a few minutes, we'll just try them and see how they are. Okay, these are the wings and they are done. I guess it is time for us to taste them. Poor thing, I'll do that for you if you don't mind. Here goes. It's really good. And it's not spicy. You taste maybe a little tiny hint of a warmth of pepper, but it's really tasty. And the skin is not fatty and chewy. It's really delicious. So I hope you try that recipe. I think you'll really like it. Try it with the orange marmalade because it's tangy, it's kind of citrusy, and then you can taste this underlying hint of the peanut butter in it. It's really good. Okay, so I'll be working on another recipe for you for next week, for next Friday, and not quite sure where it's gonna go, but I will be in touch. And so until then, keep cooking the wings because they're fantastic, and it's easy to eat, and everybody's gonna love it. I promise. Have a great day, and see you again, my friends.